Hey everyone, welcome back to the Therapy Minute. Wanted to drop a note for you guys today. There's this common theme that's been coming up with almost all of my clients this week. So maybe there's an energy out there and people need to hear this message. So I wanted to share it with you guys as well. So this common theme that's been coming up constantly with my clients this week is this connection between anxiety and our desire for control. I would say, in my experience, honestly, like 95% of all of our issues and our struggles with anxiety are all tied into control issues. Okay? When we think that we have control over all aspects of our life and that we have to be in control over all aspects of our life and that we are like the last factor, right? Like we say we run the show, we have control over everything. That's where the anxiety springs from. Because if you really think about it, in real life, we have very, very little control. There's so much that is out of our control. And that's what causes all the anxiety. This discrepancy between the truth that we have very little control over our life and the false, the lie that we're living, that we think that we control every single thing that goes on, and we have to control every little thing that goes on in our life. So that massive discrepancy is causing the anxiety. So we need to break free from that constraint, that mind constraint, right? That cognitive constraint that we have, that we are in control of everything and we have to be in control of everything and we have to be able to fix everything. When we realize that that's really not true, we have very, very, very little control. That really helps to relieve a lot of the anxiety. But then people think, well, if I don't have control, then that's the scariest thing in the world. And then what's there, right? And this is where kinds of faith, I think, plays a really nice role. And if you do happen to believe in God, that is very helpful over here. Because when we realize that we have very little control and that there's this higher power, God out there, that is really running the show and controlling the world, right? And it's the one that's in charge. So if we have this concept of like, listen, I put in my effort, I do everything that I have to do, I'm going to breathe and relax and know that, God's up there, he's taking care of things, he's going to take care of me. And that takes a huge load off of our shoulders regarding the worry and the constant anxiety and this feeling that we are in control and we have to make sure everything is perfect and we are the ones, running the whole show. When we realize that that's really not the case, wow, a massive burden off of our shoulders relieves a ton of anxiety. So having faith in a higher power, in God, is so crucial and so important and so helpful in relieving anxiety. If you really think about it, the only things that we really do have control over, let's say, is like our bodily functions, right? What we decide to eat, what we put in our mouths, going to the bathroom, right? Physical, like exercise, right? Like that's all that we really have control over. Once you start adding other people into the mix, zero control. You have no control over what other people do. The weather, our plans, right? Stuff like that, zero control. So once you get out of yourself, the control is gone because, everything else gets thrown in the mix that you have zero control over. And if you think, interestingly, when we're dealing with kids, what are the issues that parents that we tend to have with little kids? What are like the massive struggles that we have with kids is food related things, picky eaters, getting them to eat, and bathroom, toilet training, because those are the only two things that these little lives have control over. So they're gonna fight you tooth and nail because that is their control, right? That's just like a side note. But once we learn to get rid of that facade, get rid of that false idea that we are in control of every single thing that goes on and we have to be in control of every single little thing that goes on, when that goes away, oh my God, such immense relief. And you're able to like put it up to, that very powerful common phrase that's been going around, let go and let God. It's so helpful. So think about it for a little bit. Think about the connection between, maybe you're struggling with anxiety right now. Is there a connection over there with the anxiety that you're feeling and this desire to control everything? And let's kind of wrap our head around releasing that control and giving it up to God, something higher. It's very helpful. All right, guys, wishing you well. Take care. Bye.